So, it's all about trickery to you? Wherever have you come from?
No, no. I detest trickery. But if we ourselves are to suffer deception, our hands are no longer tied. Where are we?
Well, the muscular contraction is there. Means you're already inside of him. This must be one of the ventricles, right here.
What a silly place. It's stuffed. So it's not real for now? I don't think it has started yet.
Does it matter what it's made of? It's definitely struggling. We need to perform Sectio Transversalis. Cut the wall. There's no other way out. What else is there to do?
I know what to do. Those who favor hard logic and direct action are bound to be misguided. Only a miracle can set us free without us having to destroy something. And I can do miracles. Just let me.
Will you please be quiet? You're a liar and a thief. Who is going to believe you when you keep lying to yourself? The truth is my shepherd. Whatever happens, I will find answers, and justice will be restored. I will perform the operation. Medica morbo adhibe.
Don't you go all bossy on me, clever clogs. You will act justly, but your justice will blind you and become his demise. This calls for the gentle hand of a surgeon. Step aside, both of you.
Your gentle hands are used to killing, not giving life. You will inevitably do harm. As for Brainy, he has no regard for casualties at all. Neither of you knows compassion.
Yes, it seems unlikely that we'll get along well, but there's only one truth.
Any choice is right as long as it's willed. That's the truth of the matter.
Only the heart will show you the right choice. Stop thinking about yourselves. Think of the sick. He's in pain. I can't see it yet, but I can feel it.
It's not even a trap. It's a grave. Subipsum funis sumus. Can't say I hold a soft spot for it.
I can see that. You're full of hate. Stuffed or not, it's breathing. I can hear it. It can be healed rather than killed.
You mean you won't become a killer? But you will. Mark my word, that's exactly what will happen. But I can avoid it.
No, we won't ever get along. I suggest we be on our way. The sooner the better.
Off we go then?
Let's go. The clock is ticking.
You know, when I first watched this, well over a year ago at this point, this opening cutscene, I had absolutely no clue what they were on about, what they were prattling on about. Obviously, like, there was talk of a virus, of an infection, but beyond that, like, it was just completely, complete gibberish as far as I was concerned. Now I think I've been corrupted enough by Pathologic that I understood most of what they were saying there. It's kind of amazing. Like, on the surface level, they're talking about Simon Kane, the infected man, the source of the plague, almost, I guess. Certainly the first one to come down with it. But they're also, on a meta level, talking about the town itself, and on a meta level, talking about the game, I think, especially the sort of allusions to any choice can be correct as long as you're true to your convictions, almost telling the player to just pick a path and go with it, which is exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to pick a path. Welcome back to Pathologic, the third playthrough. The Changeling. Clara had a dream. A foggy morning, having passed a wicket gate, she is now dawdling somewhere, piles of dry leaves rustling in her wake. A familiar voice calls out to her. She lifts her eyes and sees her own twin sister point at an old man convulsing and weeping in unbearable agony. Clara darts for the man to save him with her healing touch, but so does her sister. The girls exchange confused glances. This is the story of a thief girl who has chosen her own past, ceased to be the instrument of blind fate, and refashioned herself into a free miracle worker.
Clara wakes up. Could the dream have been prophetic? She has prophetic dreams often. She's no longer surprised by them. She knows that they are sent by the powers that want to warn the herald of what the future holds for her. There were a lot of clues hinting at the veracity of the message. She does indeed know how to treat those in pain with her miraculous hands. She is indeed willing to ease their suffering. She truly strives to do the right thing. She loves her fellow beings. The girl is eager to do good deeds, even if that requires her to go through pain and hardships. Changeling wakes up at the edge of a pit in the ground. Sleep hasn't brought her comfort. Her back and legs ache as though she has walked many miles. Her hands are covered in mud. There are traces of dried blood on her bare knees. It's dark. The dawn is a few hours away.
Already, the game wastes no time in getting to the heart of what has been confusing me about Clara throughout both the previous playthroughs. Is she two people or not? Made an awful lot of noise about her being two people, particularly in Dankovsky's campaign. And the fact that she just woke up in a grave is equally perplexing. Like, following my second playthrough of this game, I feel like I was starting to slowly get to grips with what any of this means. But there is still this one single, very large and very terrifying enigma in Clara, the Changeling. Would you fuck with that face? Because I sure as hell wouldn't. That face is a threat in and of itself, honestly. Why would they call me a thief, pray tell? What did I steal? Why does the law detest me so? The only thing I remember is that I am an outlaw, and I will be forever persecuted. Was I really that good a thief, I wonder? I have nothing of value, just myself and the rags I'm wearing. My crime is horrendous, still I am beyond redemption. Back in the day every heart was open before me, now whatever door I approach is slammed in my face. This is terrifying. Where should I run? With whom shall I seek shelter? Shall I find what I stole and give it back? Who will agree to take it off my hands? Who will answer my questions? If not you. Day 1 in which the Changeling finally finds her sister, thus confirming the prophecy of the twin angels. Well, it's good to see these guys hanging around again. Are you just here to tutorialize me, or what? How small you are, how frail. Will you survive in this horrible world? You're talking as if I were a newborn baby, aren't you? You'll have to be taught to eat, drink, sleep, move around, heal yourself, even to breathe. This place drains your health all too fast. Even a seasoned person must stay alert. Not everyone manages to cope. Teach me kindly, Mask. How can I stay in good health? We're dying every minute of our lives. Thousands of cells dissolve, melt, burst like bubbles in a froth. You must replenish your strength several times a day. If you allow yourself to be overcome with exhaustion or your hunger becomes unbearable, you will be dying even faster than usual. And usual is fast enough as it is. It's the air in this place. I'm so tired. It's as if I've been sleepwalking all night. You can buy food in a shop. If money is a problem, various comestibles? Yeah, that's probably a word. Can be picked up at residential houses, but those are closed except during an emergency. And should you break into one using a lockpick, be nimble. The inhabitants will defend their property. So what am I to do? You can take anything you want at the mansions of those destined for the leading roles in this unfolding drama. Such is the custom of hospitality with the local aristocracy and those who try to imitate them. What sort of people are they? You will soon learn to spot them among the populace. Their houses stand out. By the way, this is also where you can find a bed to get some replenishing sleep in, provided, of course, that you don't give the owners a reason to shut the door on you. And where can I buy useful things around here? You can spot a shop by its sign, there for selling useless items as well as buying useful ones, and some of the people in the street will gladly barter things they wouldn't sell you for money. There's illicit trade going on at a couple of secret spots, but a lady so young would be wise to not set foot in those dens. Or, for that matter, talk about them. So there are things no one would sell me, right? Should your reputation, on the importance of which my surly colleague has been meaning to speak to you, sink so low as to lose you the trust of even the most desperately reckless, which describes all merchants, you won't be able to buy even the most harmless of articles, but reputation can be restored. What else can you teach me? Essentially, this is it for now. Don't forget to stop by the Caretaker's Lodge. Awaiting you there is Katerina, who will be a better mentor and support than myself in these difficult days. You're lucky to have her at your side, being as she is a mistress, as well wife to our ruler, the fearsome Alexander. Thank you, Mask. I don't need you anymore. Katerina's in here. This is Grace's place. Oi, you're one swift appearer, a child, a sweet child, such thin see-through palms you've got, magnificent little hands, so extraordinary, and already blackened and reddened all over. How very evocative. What do you want from me? Before you enter the town and embark upon your cleansing agenda, I'd like to give you a few pieces of advice. You are, after all, a mere hatchling. I rather doubt you arrived at this cemetery with your M.O. already laid out, if you pardon the pun. Please do tell me. Time won't wait for you. Hour after hour, day after day, it will run out fast. You're not the centre of the universe, not even now that you have this truly exceptional part to play. At some point you may even feel like you could easily be everywhere at once, but make no mistake, the town is changing with time and there's nothing you can do about it. I do need to rub it in. Time has the final say in matters of life and death. It may so happen that you will knock on the door of a person you need when the person is already past being able to answer you. The news changes too. What was on a person's mind a day ago will have petered out come tomorrow, and it may have been something you would have found useful. Pray, why speak of such terrible things? It's not like I have to say in matters of anyone's life and death, time or no time. I haven't had a laugh like that in quite a while. If you don't have a say, who does? Who but you, my blessed child, is holding in their hands the lives and deaths of others? But be careful with your terrible gift. Every death will count against you. No amount of trickery is too much, no price is too high for maintaining a viable reputation. Reputation? Yes, you will have a reputation too, my dear child, and I don't think you'll find the sullen horse easy to tame. It will be full of surprises. Your reputation will be falling, always, relentlessly. And it's decisive in, everything. How many friends you've got, how many enemies. Trust opens the right doors, and the right lips. Why will it always be falling? I'm a good person. But people are convinced to the contrary. You will exist in several guises here. The guise that will live in the collective mind. And one may speculate the collective memory is the most terrifying one. Every day people will witness signs of your otherworldly nature, and they will be frightened. No, I will be remembered for my mercy, and always spoken of in praise. You'll see. People will always appreciate your help, and I can assure you a lot of people are going to need help these days. Relieving sufferers from their misery is appreciated a great deal. Sometimes a person is in such pain that even euthanasia will be a blessing, especially for the incurable. Do I have a good reputation right now? Right now? Search me, but that's easy to find out. In fact, it's generally a good idea not to neglect checking up on your status. Has my kind-hearted colleague spoken to you about it yet? He has. Most importantly, don't forget to stop by the Caretaker's Lodge. You've got people waiting you in there, and they have no doubts about your identity. As it happens, you've just drawn proof of your arrival from a pile of oracle bones. Your turning up in person will duly impress them. Tarry not. Careful, don't scratch me with that beak of yours. It's no beak, my dear child, it is a talon, but what I really am is a finger of a hand. You should be much more careful then if it's a talon. I am small. Shouldn't come as a surprise, really, but I am small. I am a wee tiny child. Grace? Katerina? How are we?
He is ruthless. That man with the snakeskin coat. He doesn't know compassion.
Surely you're not going to hurt a poor caretaker's daughter, are you? I may be useful to you yet. If I die, who's going to look after the graves? You don't say so, my dear. Who do you take me for? You got mixed up with someone else, right?
They don't trust me. Like I don't know what to do.
See, my lady has come to find out what the dead are saying about our fate. And what are they saying? They're saying they've already vacated 7 of the 9 corners of their house for the guests that are due. All the house's inhabitants are now crammed into the remaining 2 corners. Can you imagine the harvest that death is about to reap? Oh, scary. I can picture vividly this house with the dead crowded in those corners, expecting the many guests. And my lady doesn't want to believe it. She says the future can be changed. This is her pity talking. Where did you come from? I thought you were going to stay at grandfather's. You only went there yesterday evening, after all. I died yesterday evening? Is that what she's getting at? What are you talking about? Well, there was a girl, the spitting image of you. She came here just before you did. It wasn't dark yet. And then she went to grandfather. That's odd. Impossible, actually. It must have been me. There's no other way.
Yes?
You're back. What did grandfather say? I haven't seen anyone's grandfather. There must be some misunderstanding.
You are a herald. You've been brought here by fate itself.
Where did you come from, girl? Tell me your name. Let it be Clara. I've come to this town looking for my sister. Yes, I'm looking for my sister. Something's telling me she has recently paid you a visit. Yes, that's right. I have been waiting for you, Clara. We have many things to talk about. Ask me and I will answer. No, not here. Listen, you need to go to my house, report to my husband, the ruler Alexander. He'll take care of you, and I will be there later, when Grace and I have finished with our business. If I'm guessing who you are correctly, then we are all saved. Are you in danger? Yes, the bones say we are in the danger the likes of which has not been seen on this earth. Go to our house, Clara. If you are who we've been waiting for, you will have no trouble getting there, and no one will threaten you on your way. I'll do as you say. I know where it is. Don't worry, I've been there a few times. Interesting. I see immediately why the game expects you to have played one of the 2 previous campaigns before you can embark on this one, because let's be real now. Let's be real. This shit is very different immediately off the bat. We're not here to solve the plague. We're not here as level-headed men of medicine. We're here as something otherworldly who speaks in otherworldly riddles. As a character doing that, that's new. That's new. Normally, the NPCs will try and confuse the... Oh, that dog was aggro for a second there. The NPCs will try and confuse the fuck out of you, but my character seems to like know more than she lets on. You know what I mean? She has secrets she's keeping from me, which is something else entirely. Also, they talked about my reputation going down steadily, which I don't think the other 2 characters did, so that seems like something else I'm going to have to deal with. I'm going to have to work out a way of easily recovering my reputation. I know a good way of doing that on the other 2 characters was to murder bad men a lot. I don't really know if Clara's got it in her, though. I don't see why she wouldn't. I mean, it's a core sort of mechanic of the game. But at the same time, she is a small girl. I don't know if murder is, you know, something she's well versed in by her nature. I don't know. Not really much point going shopping yet. I need to do more looting, do more trading. Looting and trading. 2 pretty major core tenets of this game in my experience. If you haven't seen either of my previous playthroughs of this game, by the way, I strongly advise you go watch either me or someone else, or play them yourself before you continue watching this, because this shit is going to get confusing. This is not a game that suffers fools, shall we say. And jumping in at the midpoint like this, probably not the smartest move, honestly. Yeah, I'm calling you a dumb fuck. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Alexander, my friend.
What has this town turned into? Truly a country of contradictions.
You're standing before Alexander Saburov, one of the rulers of this town. You must be Clara, I suppose. Yes, that's right. Have I done something to make you angry? My wife Katerina said you have been seen at the cemetery. The late caretaker's daughter claims that you had crawled out of a fresh grave, the appearance of which could not be accounted for. Is this true? What? How could she possibly have talked to you already?
What has this town turned into?
No answers for
Truly
that,
a
huh?
country
Okay.
of contradictions.
Probably because nothing is real in this game. That's how she's spoken to him already. We just have to sort of accept that nothing makes sense in this game because it's not meant to make sense. Do you know that it's dangerous for you even to go out in the street? Are you aware that the powerful Kane family has put a bounty on your head? An envoy of theirs has just left, and I promised them I'd help catch the criminal by all means possible. The criminal? The head of the ruling families... Try that again. The head of one of the ruling families died last night. His murderer is said to be a woman similar to you in appearance. The description largely matches. The common folk, blinded by local superstitions, are blaming a mystical creature spawned in the earth under mysterious circumstances at night. Is there anything you have to say to that, Clara? Who's been murdered? I know nothing. Simon Kane, the oldest and wisest of us, the spiritual mentor and founder of our community. Don't dodge the question, the charge is serious. But for my wife's firm faith in you, I would have handed you over to the Kanes without a moment's hesitation. And you? Do you suspect me too? I don't know why, but for some reason I trust you. I get this strange feeling as though I have known you for a long time, and that makes me suspicious, Clara, pointing as it does to the fact that you control an otherworldly power of some kind. I do have inexplicable powers, I've always had them, but I've always thought of it as a blessing. It's good, not evil. Why then are you being called a thief? I do believe larcenous skills are the exclusive domain of the wicked. That's not quite fair, but evil is alien to me. I've always helped people and always considered it a blessing. Indeed, you are a miracle worker. That makes you almost a saint. Yes, a status like that precludes accusations of murder and theft, but then explain to me the meaning of those coincidences. If not for my blind faith in my wife's words, I would have no doubt that you are an evil spirit, a spawn of the netherworld. And if you don't explain that mystery at once, I swear even Katerina's influence will not save you. Wait, I'll tell you. I have a twin sister. She looks exactly like me, is named the same, and wears the same clothes. I fear she was the one who committed all those horrible crimes. Alright, have it your way. I accept this explanation and I believe you. I've just had to tell a lie for the first time in my life. To invent a fictional sister and shift all those outrageous accusations to her. Strange I could even utter the words, but I promise. I promise when it all clears up I'll explain myself and undo that lie. What are you capable of, Clara? Tell me more about your miraculous abilities. I can cure various diseases using my hands. I know that already. Anything else? I can induce a hypnotic state in people, provided they consent, of course, and they will answer any question truthfully. Enough. I need time to make up my mind. Now go outside, walk around the house, and you will get to my wife's side. Afterwards, come back to me. If your conversation yields no unpleasant surprises, I shall decide on your future from then on. Alright, I'll do as you say. There was mention earlier that you're able to steal from the houses of the rich and powerful. This is interesting. You can't do that as the other characters. The man had nothing to steal, but the point stands. I don't know if doing so will ruin my reputation. Obviously, reputation is going to be an important stat in this game, just as important as the other ones, whereas in the other games it was largely just an afterthought. Can't loot that, okay. Hello.
I'll let the good scholar examine the deadly powders. We'll put him to the test.
A lot of people talking about Bachelor Dankovsky, but that's an issue for later. The vision is becoming real. This doubtedly is one of those two. Yet which one? I must be on my guard. May I come in? I'm cold.
It
Come closer,
is
Clark.
as if my temples were pierced with needles. Do
That's a shame.
something.
Come closer, Clara. Do you know that I, Katerina Sabarova, that's not how you pronounce that, but we're going with it, I'm a clairvoyant. I can commune with the mysterious forces that permeate this land. Magic has no power over me. I can see into the future. Tell me, do you question my abilities? I have such abilities too. I'm not one to doubt the existence of supernatural powers. The visions, they're not all the same. Some of them are clear, some are hazy, but a recent one was straightforward and vivid. A vision of such power that even a materialist would not question its divine providence. I've had a vision of the chaos to come, of the doom of all our creations, of the earth swallowing our town. I know. I've seen it too recently. There's a prophecy of twin angels. It spoke of a harbinger of death, the imminent disaster incarnate, who is to come to this town along with a holy leader who can perform miracles with their hands and deliver us from evil. Now I understand who is standing before me. Tell me, are you yourself aware of your calling? I thought it was a mere modest servant of virtue. Yes, that is correct. All that remains is to interpret the dream, a dream that is always an allegory. Before I saw you, before I heard you speak, I'd been thinking of the other pairs of twins, Simon and Georgie Kane, Andre and Peter Stamerton. Even those visitors, the Harrispecks and the Bachelor, they seem to be the harbingers of my dream. But now I see where the truth lies. Are these guys twins? I think they're just... Neither of these two have been mentioned as twins before, as far as I know, and obviously the Harrispecks and the Bachelor aren't. I guess she just means pairs of people that you can put together as a... You can twin them, rather than they are literal blood twins, I suppose. Whatever. So you believe me? I'm fully convinced that the prophecy was referring to you, but others will need better proof than that. Do as my husband said and prove that you are who I think you are, and we will stand by you. The ruling couple and the holy harbinger. What does that mean? It means that if you stand before our people in all your glory, fulfill your destiny and don't abandon us afterwards, we will adopt you as our daughter. When I die, I'll pass on to you the power of the spirit, and your heart's chosen one will inherit the power of the sword from my husband. Why are you speaking as if you were reciting a psalm? Because there are no other words to speak properly of such things. And as for you, obedience will suit you much better than waywardness at this time. You are in too questionable a position, and it is beyond my power to change that on my own. I fear nothing, my conscience is clear. Now go to Alexander, be brave no matter what he asks you, and have nothing to be afraid of, for I see that you are the true harbinger. Such things can never be changed nor hidden from me. Time has proven that I do not make mistakes. Fear nothing, and return triumphant. Alright, I'm going. Back to Alex. Alex the kid himself, here in Miracle World. I will never stop making deep cut Sega references. To be fair, that's not a particular deep cut. Everyone knows who Alex Kidd is, right? That's a thing. That's a thing people are aware of, right? Am I just old? I might just be old. I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, that's it. You just said yes. Okay. Indeed, you do look more like a messenger from above than a spawn of the earth. Katerina has told me her dreams. It all fits. She believes I am a messenger from above. Alright, my wife is a clairvoyant, but I am not. I need something to make sure you're exactly who you claim to be. I'm going to give you a few tasks. Let your actions prove that your hands have power over people's lives and your words over their minds. You don't trust your wife? I would rely on Katerina's testimony entirely if I were a common man instead of one of the town's rulers and an heir to a family that has maintained order in this land for generations. Several thousand lives are my direct responsibility. Do you understand? Yes, I do. I have received reports of a fight at the station this morning. Several men were killed, several more maimed. I have dispatched 2 loyal men there, but I will tell you where the dead and wounded have been carried off. See if anything can be done. But it could be dangerous. If you're truly the prophesied messenger from above, you have nothing to fear. Nothing will harm you. The murderer has fled. The whole town is searching for them. Wherever they are now, that place is far from the station. Go, and fear nothing. you don't think my sister's guilty of this crime too. I have no idea what kind of person your sister is and what her talents are, but it isn't likely. Even if your sister is as singular a creature as yourself, that carried the wrong signature. This was the work of a true Ripper. And if the wounded man dies before I get to him? If not this time, then another time. Heal a man by nightfall for me, in the presence of a witness, or preferably witnesses. This will strengthen our position. I will then have legitimate grounds for protecting you from the Kane's wrath. Alright. I'll do everything as you say. I guess we go to the train station to find out where the body was taken to. From what I recall, from the other campaigns, the wounded guy is with Grace, but she probably won't actually have the wounded guy with her until I've progressed the quest a little bit, because that's just how these things work, you know? I can't just know these things. Or maybe I am allowed to know these things. Like, this is, regardless of anything else, this is always going to be your second playthrough of the game, right? So you're meant to be forearmed and forewarned with knowledge, which honestly allows you to play the character of Clara a lot better, because she's like, you know, obviously a magical pixie dream girl of some sort, who's capable of completely incomprehensible and unexpected feats. And, you know, just knowing what happens in the game is certainly one of those. You know what I mean? Just something to mull over. There's a case of sort of game design, whether intentionally or unintentionally, playing into the narrative, and I think it works quite well. Onwards then. Yeah, obviously the man who did the murder, I say obviously, if you can stretch your mind back to episode 1 of this now 80 odd episode playthrough. Technically this is episode 1 of the Changeling, but you know, Pathologic overall. You know what I mean, you know what I'm talking about. If you cast your mind all the way back there, you'll know that Artemi Barak himself, the Haruspecs, is the one who killed the people at the train station because they jumped him on his arrival. But as the Changeling, I suppose we don't know anything. Allegedly. All that we know is we woke up in a hole, and now people are saying that everyone hates us. Do I have enough water to trade you, my friend? Yeah, okay. The responses were different to what I was expecting. I need one more water bottle, I believe. Yeah, okay. Later then. How are my stats doing? I haven't actually checked yet. Hang on. I am fully healed. I don't know why it's going on about me being injured. Could do with some food, could do with some sleep, maybe. My immunity is pretty good. Honestly, yeah, I'm kind of doing fine. It's only my reputation that's in tatters. And I'm used to that. I'm the king of bad reputation. How do I... Fuck. That wasn't how that sentence was meant to play out, realistically. I am aware of how fucking works in general as a concept. So I don't need an explanation for that one, sorry. What I wanted to say was, how do I get out of this place? But I'm on it now. I've worked it out. I've fathomed it. Could have stopped by and had a little chat with Bad Grief while we were there, but I don't think I'm going to have enough money to buy anything off him, so there's not really a great deal of point. We'll just do as the quest directs for now. Keeping an eye out for bins and potential trades. I'm sure everything will go just fine. Are these two going to attack me? Hey, friendly? Not friendly. Do I fucking punch him? Or what? This is going to be an issue, I think. Maybe not. I guess I have magic powers, so like I have the power of the Force Palm. Yeah, I kill these like in as many hits as I was killing them with a knife before, so I guess my magical power fists are actually pretty good. Wasn't expecting to be immediately thrown into combat though, honestly. That caught me off guard. What's this? A drapery. It's apparently closed. I guess I'll wear it. Why not? Why not? Is this what we were meant to be encountering? The map marker's over there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's where we're supposed to go, because this game is intentionally obtuse a lot of the time. Not really finding anything around here though. I guess maybe I should check where they were squatting. Maybe there was something on the floor there. Unless Murky saw something.
What have you got there? 2 more hands?
I've already told you I'm not playing with you anymore. You cheat when you're it. You use magic. I've never even seen you before.
I'm damp and washed out.
Relatable. Have you forgotten something? We just discussed all there was to discuss. I don't remember that. When was it? Just now, really?
I'm damp and...
Huh. So, Clara admits she made up the sister in her own dialogue, right? The sister is very clearly not real. So is it like a... I mean, she obviously doesn't remember much. Is it a case of amnesia? She knows she has the powers. She clearly remembers some things about her past life, but doesn't remember, like, recent happenings in this area. I'm angry and hurt. Why so? Why? Because first I get chased away into the steppe by my soul and a half mates, and then I run into a ripper there to boot. Boy, was I begging him to let me go, but the bastard knew what I'd been picked on for. Then pulled out his knife, and here I am, carved up like so much fillet. It hurts. Help me, will you? Why did they do it to you? Well, I suppose I had done what was a mighty rotten thing to do, but mucked it up like an idiot. So my former soul and a half mates, they threw me out, called me a traitor and all that, hunted me. But I'm a slick one, I saved myself, thought I'd made it out. And what do you know, along comes Leathersack. Leathersack? Some ripper I'd never seen round here before, and he's like, stop right there, I'm going to question you. But you wanted for such and such crimes, and you're carrying valuables on your person, etc., etc., and then whack he goes with that razor. But I wriggled myself free, saved myself again, and then wobbled my way to this place, and then... Poor thing, come on, come to me, let me touch you with my hands, you'll feel better. Come on, hurry up and heal me. Oh, the pain. Patience is maybe a little unpleasant. Let me just... Real quick. I've not saved yet. Do I just... I think I may have just failed that one. It's time to lay my hands on the dying man. There was bloodshed at the station this morning, and many people lie wounded or dead. Sabarov's man is keeping watch. He will tell me what has to be done. This never happened before. Could the miraculous power that enters the world through my hands bring death as well as life? How will I explain this to Alexander? I can't return to him unless I have saved someone. There must be another injured man somewhere. Okay, that was meant to happen then. You saw that, did you? So, you can kill evildoers with a single touch. Truly, a godly gift. I didn't mean to. I wanted to heal him. I felt sorry for him. Then it must have been the supreme judgment. With you as the judge, yes, it makes sense. Had he deserved to live, you'd have given him life, right? But the murderer deserved to die, so you dealt him death. Yes, it was much like what the mistress foretold. That was a child that I just killed, by the way. The dog heads are all kids, just so we're clear. I see you're well informed. I suppose you're religious, a faithful man. Do you read mystical and spiritual books? Don't touch me, please. I'm as full of sin as they come. But if that's enough for your touch to kill me, my master would surely be interested. But you were meaning to heal. You better find someone else. That's what he sent you here for, right? Who? Where do I find a person like that? Well, how about the one who made a lucky escape from robbers? He survived that massacre and avoided the corpse eaters, so fate must be favouring him. Bring this one back to life if you wish to, of course. Will you be able to find him yourself? But how? The people were wondering if he had crawled away eastward to the steppe. He must have been from the steppe himself, a local, so he'd want to be buried in living earth. If he's still breathing and has made it there, then the cemetery caretaker's daughter must have given him shelter. Ah, I know her. Interesting. So, threads already weaving pretty intricately with Artemy Barak's campaign. Artemy is the one who arrived at the train station. He's also the one who hunted down the dog head. In my campaign, I actually let him go, but you are quested to kill him. It's implied that Artemy didn't actually kill him, and that he staggered over here where Clara actually finished him off. What he then went and did is went and spoke to Grace at the cemetery, where he donated some of his own blood to one of the men who had assaulted him at the train station, who was dying there. And that man was saved, I think, from what I remember. Things diverging a little bit though, because it seems like it's actually going to be me who saves him unless I arrive there and Artemy Barak is waiting for me. But if that's the case, that also didn't happen in Barak's campaign, so it's... I mean, I'm pretty sure I established in Dankovsky's campaign that Barak and Dankovsky's stories don't both happen. Whichever character you are possessing as the protagonist deals with a lot more in their own story than they deal with in other people's stories. So all three are parallel universes to one another. I mean, obviously, they each have different endings for one, so, like, obviously they can't all happen at once. But in this world, yeah, obviously, Barak is immediately being set up as a horrible, vicious butcher of a man. And all the NPCs have been putting little, nasty little jabs towards Dankovsky as well, saying he's not to be trusted either. I am the only pure one here.
What's wrong with you?
You're back. What did Grandfather say? Tell me, has an injured man come into your lodge lately? How do you know? I know a lot. Are you forgetting who you're talking to? Yes, an injured workman did come crawling here. He was all but dead, so I went to find him a good spot. I'd almost settled on a grave by the far wall when I thought of burying him in your pit. The one you spent the night in, I mean. When I returned, there was a visitor in the lodge. A robber? No, leaning over the wounded worker was the scary man who'd inflicted the wounds on him in the first place. So, I stand corrected. I asked him not to kill the workman, but to heal him with living blood instead, and he, the scary one, said nothing for a long time. There was just the sound of his wheezy breath, and then he took the workman and dragged him off somewhere. To his den, he said. You can't heal with blood, or can you? You have to have the blood of a man who is still alive and walks the earth. Infusing his blood into a wounded man's veins, if done right, will be beneficial. And that man knew? He is of warden stock. He knows the lines of the body. He can heal people and is allowed to cut a body. He said his name was Artemy Barak, but I'm afraid he'll kill the wounded man instead of healing him. The workman was, after all, his enemy. He'd attacked Barak in the morning and injured him. So that's who he is, the Ripper. No, he's the Haruspex. Dear me, that's even worse. So where does he live? I don't know, but I think it must be nearby. He was in a bad state himself, so he couldn't have walked too far with the limp body on his hands. Hiding at the works, perhaps? Or at the runaway hospice? But now that I think of it, his shoes were covered in grey clay, which you only get around the works. Thank you, Grace. I'll stay away from the works. Ah, we're actually going... Whenever Barak spoke to... whenever Dankovsky spoke to Barak, it was in one of these other buildings, or in the abattoir. But I guess we're actually going to go into the Haruspex's little workshop. I didn't think we'd be allowed in, because Dankovsky sure as hell never was. Dankovsky wasn't allowed in many places. He's definitely supposed to be the first campaign because his reach is limited severely. He has a lot less to deal with, a lot less to juggle. This being the third campaign, I have no doubt it's going to be absolute hell on earth. I am going to suffer with this one, I'm sure. So far so good though. I mean, as I say, I do have the magical holy punch, which is pretty cool. Really wasn't expecting that. I really thought I'd need a knife or something if I was going to do any combat, or that she even wouldn't be able to do combat and would just have to run away from enemies. But, no, she's got fucking god powers, so that's pretty cool. Artemy. Where's the wounded guy? I thought he'd be on your bed, but I guess not.
This outsider, he's bound to mess up.
Aha! Are those your crimes that the entire town is now hunting me for? I mean, how blind does one have to be to mix us up? I'm in the same situation, persecuted for harm done to these people by, apparently, my sister. Fine sister you've got. More of a menace than any caravan. Few people could hope to cause such a commotion. The worst thing is, we're twins.
I think I have a fever.
So what's your...
Maybe not.
Okay, fascinating insight. So what's your business here? Grace, the caretaker at the cemetery, said you brought a wounded man here. I did, and what of it? I need him. Who sent you? Alexander Sabarov, the ruler. It was him who tasked me with the healing the wounded man. What the hell are you doing here? I'm looking for the wounded man. As you can see, there's no wounded man here anymore. He vanished while I was away, and that's strange, since he couldn't walk on his own. He must have been kidnapped, but by whom? What do you mean, vanished? I brought the wounded man here, examined him, he was beyond hope. Then went to get my tools. When I came back, he was gone. That was 10 minutes ago. The trail of blood led back to the town. I saw blood on the embankment too, but that doesn't tell us a lot. So I've lost him. Where could he go? And why didn't you follow him yourself? It's better for me to stay out of the town. Every passerby rushes to tackle me and tie me up. Wonder what I did to deserve this Ripper fame. It was certainly none of my doing. Don't stand in my way, Changeling. I don't care if you're a thief or not, but I don't want our paths to cross. Do you understand? You fear me, Ripper, and rightly so. You must already feel that I'll be the undoing of your gory plans. Back to the town, then. And by back to the town, then, what I actually mean is, somehow, we've already gone, like, nearly an hour, so we're wrapping up here. We will find this injured man and save him whether he likes it or not. Next time, and I'll see you.